when Deathworlder Toddlers earned the title of apex predators, a reputation preceding them. The Galactic Concord, a union of hundreds of alien species, was often described as a bastion of peace and cooperation. Civilizations spanning tens of thousands of light-years operated within its sphere of influence, promoting stability through unity. Among these species were the Yvari, renowned for their diplomatic nature, towering figures, and peaceful outlook on life. The Yvari had always believed in understanding over violence, harmony over conflict. When humans were inducted into the Galactic Concord, many viewed them as peculiar anomalies, a species that hailed from a deathworld, a classification reserved for planets so volatile and dangerous that even their ecosystems were hostile to life. Earth's gravity was higher than the galactic norm, its atmosphere could be unstable, and its wildlife was lethally adaptable, but the humans thrived on this chaos. The rumors of humanity's resilience and violence spread like wildfire. In hushed circles, tales of their strength in battle and their ability to survive where no others could were passed from one species to the next. They were whispered about with a mix of admiration and fear, but no one truly understood them, not yet. Eager to dispel the growing myths around humans, the Yvari extended an invitation for a cultural exchange, an opportunity to understand these Deathworlders better. But rather than inviting adults, they sought to learn from the youngest humans, toddlers. In their innocence, the Yvari believed they could find common ground. After all, what harm could children pose? The humans accepted the offer with a knowing smile. Planet Orosk, located deep within the Yvari star system, was the chosen site for this exchange. Known for its jungles, flowing rivers, and mild climate, Orosk was a peaceful sanctuary, where even the predators were considered tame by galactic standards. The Orosk biodome, a massive structure that housed a carefully curated selection of wildlife, was designed for such interspecies interactions. It was an ideal location for children to safely explore and play. The human delegation arrived, bringing with them a group of 25 toddlers, all between the ages of 2 and 5 Earth years. The human parents and caretakers escorted them into the biodome, where towering trees, alien plants, and gentle creatures filled the air with an almost magical stillness. The toddlers, bright-eyed and excited, seemed delighted by their new surroundings, scampering off to explore the area while their caretakers watched from a distance. The Yvari caretakers, graceful and gentle, observed with curiosity. Unlike the children of other species, who tended to be cautious and afraid in unfamiliar environments, these human toddlers seemed to be entirely fearless. They wandered, touched everything, and emitted loud shrieks of excitement at even the smallest discoveries. The Yvari exchanged nervous glances but thought little of it. After all, what harm could toddlers do? But the wilds of Orosk would soon test these assumptions. First encounter. The first indication that something was amiss came when a toddler named Emma, no older than 3, strayed into the thick underbrush. A Yvari caretaker named Elias, with his long neck and soft fur, moved to follow her, concerned that she might hurt herself. But as Elias neared, he saw Emma stop, her eyes locking onto something hidden in the trees. A massive, bird-like predator known as an Oroskian talonbeast, with talons sharp enough to rend metal and a beak that could snap bone, had taken notice of the small human. It swooped down from its perch with lethal intent. Elias froze in fear, his instincts screaming at him to run. But Emma didn't scream, she didn't run. Instead, she giggled. Just as the talonbeast swooped low, its talons poised to strike, Emma bent down, picked up a rock, and hurled it at the creature with startling accuracy. The stone struck the predator's eye, causing it to screech and veer off course. In that moment, another toddler, Jack, who had been climbing a nearby tree with the grace of a monkey, leaped from the branches onto the talonbeast's back, grabbing its feathers with tiny hands. The predator screeched, flailing as it crashed into the jungle floor, struggling to dislodge the fearless child from its back. The Yvari watched in stunned disbelief. These children, who should have been helpless prey, were fighting back. A tide of predators. The jungle was alive with activity. As more predators sensed the commotion, they began converging on the area. An eerie silence descended upon the biodome as the air grew thick with tension. The Yvari caretakers, who had always believed in nonviolence, found themselves paralyzed by fear. But the human toddlers were anything but paralyzed. A 4-year-old boy named Ben, the largest among the group, stood at the center of the chaos with a stick clutched in his small hands. Surrounding him were several of the Zalanth wolves, native predators of Orosk with sharp teeth and glowing yellow eyes. The pack circled, their movements cautious but aggressive. The Yvari knew that even their strongest warriors would struggle to hold off such creatures. But Ben didn't hesitate. He brandished his stick like a weapon, letting out a battle cry that echoed through the biodome. "Stay behind me," he shouted to the other toddlers, his tone not one of fear but of authority. The lead wolf lunged at him, its jaws wide, but Ben swung the stick with surprising force, smacking the wolf's snout with a resounding crack. The creature yelped and retreated, its confidence shattered by the unexpected blow. The other toddlers followed Ben's lead, throwing rocks, sticks, and anything else they could find at the remaining wolves. Their aim was shockingly accurate. The predators, confused and overwhelmed by the sheer audacity of their prey, retreated into the jungle, tails tucked between their legs. Unstoppable instincts. While the Yvari had long ago evolved beyond their predatory instincts, the humans had not. These toddlers, mere infants by human standards, were displaying a level of adaptation and coordination that was unheard of for being so young. To the Yvari, it was as if the human children were born with the knowledge of how to hunt and how to survive. Elsewhere in the biodome, a 2-year-old girl named Riley encountered an Oroskian tree serpent, a venomous predator that slithered silently through the trees. While a Yvari child might have cowered in terror, Riley did no such thing. She reached up, grabbed the serpent by its tail, and swung it around in circles, giggling as the creature hissed in confusion. Another child, Sophia, stood at the edge of a riverbank, watching as a predatory fish leaped from the water to attack. But before the fish could strike, she grabbed it mid-air, pulling it out of the water and tossing it onto the shore where it flopped helplessly. The Yvari caretakers were no longer simply observing, they were frozen in fear, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. These weren't just children playing, they were small, unstoppable forces of nature. Their coordination, their lack of fear, and their utter refusal to be seen as prey sent chills down the spines of the peaceful Yvari. The parents arrive. Hours passed, and the human parents finally returned to the biodome, expecting to find their toddlers peacefully napping or playing in the soft grass. What they found instead was a scene of controlled chaos. Predators that had once roamed the biodome freely now lay subdued or injured, hiding in the shadows. The toddlers, covered in dirt and scratches but otherwise unharmed, were laughing and chasing one another around the fallen trees and rocks. The Yvari caretakers approached the human delegation, their eyes wide with shock and disbelief. "Your children," Elias began, his voice trembling. "They have tamed the predators of Orosk. We did not think it possible." One of the human parents, a tall man with a bemused expression, chuckled. "Yeah, they can be a handful, but Earth's tough. You learn early." A new reality. Word of the incident spread through the galactic concord faster than lightspeed communication could carry it. The story of the toddlers of Orosk became legend. Species across the galaxy, who had once viewed humans as merely unpredictable newcomers, now saw them as something far more dangerous. If human children could take down the apex predators of a planet like Orosk without a second thought, what were human adults truly capable of? The Galactic Council convened an emergency meeting to discuss the implications. Some species called for an immediate reclassification of humans as a Level 1 threat species, while others suggested limiting human interaction with the more vulnerable species in the Concord. In the end, no definitive action was taken, but the title remained. Humans, specifically their youngest, were now known throughout the galaxy as apex predators.